Have you ever noticed that voice in your head that never seems to shut up? The one that tells you you're not good enough, that you'll fail, that everyone is judging you? What if I told you there's a way to finally turn down the volume on that relentless inner critic? Today, we're diving deep into how mindfulness can transform that harsh internal dialogue into something much more peaceful and supportive. Picture this scenario. You're about to give a presentation at work, and suddenly that familiar voice starts up. It's telling you that you're going to embarrass yourself, that you don't know what you're talking about, that everyone will see right through you. Sound familiar? This is your inner critic at work, and it's been with you since childhood, shaped by every criticism, every failure, every moment of doubt you've experienced. But here's the thing most people don't realize about that inner voice. It's not actually you. It's a collection of old programming, societal expectations, and fear-based thinking that's been running on autopilot for years. The beautiful truth is that you have the power to change your relationship with it entirely through mindfulness practices. Let me share something fascinating about how our minds work. Neuroscientists have discovered that the average person has between 60,000 to 80,000 thoughts per day, and researchers estimate that about 80% of these thoughts are negative. Your brain is literally wired to focus on problems, dangers, and what could go wrong. This was useful when we were avoiding saber-toothed tigers, but in modern life, it often works against us. The inner critic feeds off this negativity bias like fuel to a fire. It takes every small mistake and amplifies it into evidence that you're fundamentally flawed. It compares you to others constantly, always finding ways you fall short. It predicts future failures based on past experiences, creating anxiety about things that haven't even happened yet. So how does mindfulness change this entire dynamic? Mindfulness is essentially the practice of becoming aware of your thoughts without getting caught up in them. It's like stepping back and watching your mind work from a distance, rather than being swept away by every mental tornado that passes through. When you start practicing mindfulness, something remarkable happens. You begin to notice that thoughts are just mental events, not absolute truths. That critical voice loses its power when you recognize it's just old programming running in the background. You start to see thoughts as clouds passing through the sky of your consciousness, temporary and ever-changing. Here's a simple technique you can try right now. The next time your inner critic starts up, instead of fighting it or believing it, simply notice it. Say to yourself, "I'm having the thought that I'm not good enough," rather than, "I'm not good enough." This small shift creates space between you and the thought, reducing its emotional impact immediately. Another powerful mindfulness approach involves what's called loving-kindness meditation. This practice specifically targets the harsh inner voice by cultivating compassion toward yourself. You deliberately send thoughts of kindness and acceptance to yourself, gradually rewiring your brain's default response from criticism to care. The breath becomes your anchor in this process. When you notice self-critical thoughts arising, you can return your attention to breathing. This isn't about suppressing thoughts or pretending they don't exist. It's about changing your relationship with them. Each time you redirect attention from criticism to breath, you're literally strengthening neural pathways associated with calm awareness. Body awareness is another crucial element. The inner critic often creates physical tension, shallow breathing, and stress responses throughout your body. Mindfulness helps you notice these physical manifestations of self-criticism, allowing you to release tension and return to a more relaxed state. What's truly transformative about this approach is how it changes your identity. Instead of seeing yourself as someone who struggles with self-doubt, you begin to identify as the aware presence that observes thoughts. This shift is profound because it means you're no longer at the mercy of every mental story your brain creates. Research has shown that regular mindfulness practice actually changes brain structure. The areas associated with self-criticism and stress response become less active, while regions linked to self-compassion and emotional regulation strengthen. You're literally rewiring your brain for greater peace and self-acceptance. The journey isn't about eliminating the inner critic completely. Sometimes that voice carries useful information about areas where you genuinely want to grow or improve. The goal is developing discernment, learning to distinguish between helpful self-reflection and destructive self-attack. Start with just 5 minutes daily of mindful awareness. Notice when critical thoughts arise, acknowledge them without judgment, and gently redirect attention to your breath or present moment experience. Over time, this practice becomes automatic, creating a buffer zone between triggering situations and harsh self-judgment. Remember that silencing your inner critic isn't about positive thinking or forcing yourself to feel differently. It's about developing a healthier relationship with your own mind, treating yourself with the same compassion you'd show a good friend facing similar challenges. The path to inner peace doesn't require perfection or the complete absence of self-doubt. It requires the courage to observe your thoughts mindfully and the wisdom to know that you are so much more than the stories your inner critic tells. Your awareness itself is the key to freedom.